Well,
I had to get that in.
A psychic doesn't, I don't take over the person and say I'm the doctor. I very often, almost frequently, suggest alternatives for the client that I receive, whether it's rebirthing, as past shows that you have, past life regression, holistic, acupuncture. Just to get back to what you were saying as far as the negative is concerned, two things on that. First of all, when I first started, and I was only 18 years old, when the people would come in and see me, they would look at me like, "You're the psychic?"
Yeah.
They expected a big,
beard,
heavy woman not to say anything about heavy people.
I see good things for you.
Yes, and a crystal ball. And, you know, the second thing is, which is so ironic, that in the initial stages of my development, I shied away from doing this work because if you would suggest, in one particular case, I told a friend that if she didn't check her brakes, she would have an accident. And she did have the accident because she didn't check the brakes, but went on to blame me almost like I was the witch. Yes, that created that.
Not the good part.
I stayed back from it until I saw a show on how psychics are very instrumental in kidnapping cases and realized now that's looking at it in a more positive light. And the ironic part is that I always prayed to be a healer, but in my visualization it was laying on of hands. Never did I realize that God had it in his intentions for me to use channeling and cards as a way of healing, which is where I am now, and it's very rewarding to be here and very positive.
You know what else I think surprises people? That there's humor in the spirit world.
Oh, yeah. I had fun with Eileen.
Diane has channeled just about every human being I've ever known who's on the other side, and what I really loved about it is in my house there was always a lot of laughter, and the messages through Diane from my mother and father are often funny, and they say things the same way they would say when they were alive.
If they were funny when they're alive, they'll be funny on the other side.
Exactly, and it makes me feel really good that they're around me. And
well, it's energy, and the energy appears as you remembered it. Even if you see a spirit, you're going to see it as you knew it.
Right. You knew it best. I see my son as I knew him best.
Right.
Not. I just have to inject a little logic into this. Diane just said we are energy and the spirits are energy. Skeptics will say, well, how can all this be? I mean, it's impossible. They're dead. But if you take it on a scientific level, energy cannot be created nor destroyed.
Right.
So if we are energy, electromagnetic energy, what makes you think that our energy can be destroyed? It has to go on. Energy goes from one form to another. You take water, you boil it, it becomes steam. You condense it, it becomes ice. It goes through different planes. And the same with our energy. So again, this is for the people who say, well, how can these people, what are these people talking about? You know, they're crazy. It can't be. We're not out to convert you. We just want to illustrate that. Open your mind, and you'll learn a lot about yourself and about other people, about what's going on in this world.
And there's always hope.
Yeah.
Always hope.
And comfort in knowing that.
And everything happens for purpose. I could not understand why my son passed away. Why was he taken from me at such an early age? But it was to help me and my growth in a different direction.
As I explained to you and I explained to my clients, and I am a parent, so I know how difficult this sounds, but we are channels even for those children, and they have chosen you as the parent and the path that they're seeking in this lifetime. So as hard as it is and as protective as we can be, we have to let go and let that spirit, that energy, that person do what he came in here to do.
And no one can walk our path.
Right.
And we can't walk anyone else's path. They have to find their own way in life. Eileen, you mentioned we met at the club. I would just like to tell our viewers, not everyone there is a practicing psychic, but we're all psychic. And what the club does is help you seek, say maybe there's more to what I'm doing in life today, and there are psychic lectures, and you know, you can open your own psychic awareness. And Eileen moved to Florida after she just recently, and
right, I moved in June. Something that Diane actually helped me to free me up from some of the past that I was clinging to, and to let go of that and to heal and to be able to move on. And so now fortunately I've been able to take many of my New York clients with me because I do the phone readings, and they find that it's a half an hour is like only $4 from AT&T if you do it on the weekend.
$4 from AT&T plus your
Right.
rate would still be a lot less than an obscure reading over a psychic hotline.
Oh yeah, it's a fraction.
Because $4 a minute, that'd be $120. I was very honored and flattered that. Did you say something about opening a club in Florida?
Yes, I'm so inspired by this club and all the wonderful people I've met through it that I'm about to start one in my area, which is the west coast of Florida, the Tampa Bay area. And I'm going to do it just like you did. Put out the little flyers in the metaphysical bookstores. And
everyone that's meant to come will be there.
That's what I figure.
Say that about my clients, too.
Well, we're getting into the very last few minutes of the show. Is there anything in 25 words or less that you might say?
Well, first of all, I'm very grateful for you having me here and giving me the opportunity to hopefully enlighten our viewers on the professionalism of a psychic and the advantage that one can have in seeking psychic consulting. Also, just to backtrack a little, as far as the club is concerned, it's a mixture of people all with their own talents and gifts, and a beautiful place for sharing. And even as a psychic, for many years, I kept it very quiet. But the club was a place where I could be free to share my ability and be who I am and make some very wonderful friendships.
What Diane is saying is very true, because a lot of people come because they're afraid. It's almost like a support group. They can't talk to anyone else. They have all these things happening in their life, and they're afraid to share them with anyone. They're going to think I'm nuts. They're going to think I'm crazy. So it does work. And if you have any questions about things that are happening to you, there's always psychics on hand. We have everything. People come and go every month. When they're not busy, they come in and they help out. They ask questions, answer. We don't do readings, but they answer questions. Eileen, anything you would like to, real fast?
Just that I think that the psychic readings are, comforting and healing for people, and it's a good place to make connections through the club. With
that, I'd just like to remind our viewers, I thank you both for being here. This program is seen every Saturday night on Channel 35 at 8 p.m. The Queen's Psychic Club meets the first Thursday of every month at 4160 Casino Boulevard, the Flushing Free Synagogue. We have conversations, discussions, and lectures, and it's a good place to meet people of like mind. So keep watching, and I'll meet you there at the first of the month. See you there. God bless. Thank you, ladies.
Good. Thank you. Thank you, Bob.